Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Sheikh is speaking of the people who promote and practice misguidance, backbiting.
Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi wa mawalah. With regards to speaking about the people who promote misguidance, then generally the people are divided into scholars and into the layman or the generality of people. And as for the generality of people and the Muslims in general, every Muslim is deserving, and it is his haqq upon the other Muslim to give him nasiha. It is his haqq upon every other Muslim to give him nasiha. So if we see a person that is doing an act of misguidance, and obviously from the when we say misguidance, it's anything which deviates from the path of Sharia, anything which deviates from the path of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and from it obviously then is bid'ah, because bid'ah, our Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said it is misguidance. So if a person, a normal Muslim, is practicing something which is bid'ah and misguidance, he should be given nasiha, he should be educated, he should be told that this action is an innovation in Islam, and he should be encouraged to leave it and to follow the sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Then when it comes to the imams, when it comes to the scholars and the callers to misguidance, then this is a different case. The caller to misguidance, he is not like the layman. He's not like the general Muslim who is merely following what his teacher or his imam is telling him. Rather, he is the person leading those other people astray, and so it is a duty in reality upon the one who knows his condition and who has knowledge to not only refute his batil, but to warn the people from him, so that he is not enabled to lead many people astray, and that people can be aware of him and stay clear of him. And this is established in the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, as it is established in the way of the Sahaba radiallahu ta'ala anhum and the Imams that came after them. So this is not considered ghiba, it is not considered backbiting, it is not considered gossiping or namima, or like our people would say fitna. Rather, this is from nasiha for the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah rahimahullah ta'ala, in fact, firstly, when we go to the book of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, then Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, when warning us about the people of deviation in Surah Ali Imran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says that هو الذي أنزل عليك الكتاب منه آيات محكمات وأخر متشابهات, that it is He who sent down upon you the book. From it they are clear verses, right? هن أم الكتاب, and they are the mother of the book. وأخر متشابهات, and others which are unclear, right? And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala tells us, فأما الذين في قلوبهم زيغ فيتبعون ما تشابه منه. So as for those who have in their hearts deviation, then they follow that which is unclear of it, right? ابتغاء الفتنة وابتغاء التأويل, seeking to create mischief and seeking to give false interpretations. So our Nabi sallallahu alayhi wasallam, when he mentioned this ayah to our mother Aisha radiallahu ta'ala anha, he said that when you see those who follow that which is ما تشابه من, that which is unclear of it, فَأُولَٰئِكَ الَّذِينَ سَمَّ اللَّهُ فَاحْذَرُوهُمْ, then those are the people who Allah has mentioned, beware of them. When you see those who follow what is unclear or ambiguous of it, those are the people who Allah mentioned, so beware of them, right? Then if you look at the scholars themselves, Imam Ahmad rahimahullah ta'ala, Imam Ahmad would warn against the people of innovation and would mention their names. He would say Ibn Abi Du'ad is a Jahmi, he would say that this particular was a scholar of his time, right? But he was from the Mu'tazila, who denied the sifat of Allah, tabaraka wa ta'ala. So he said he's a Jahmi, because the Jahmiyyah, they denied Allah's names and attributes, you know. And when they came to Imam Ahmad, and Shaykh al-Islam ibn Taymiyyah, rahimahullah ta'ala, he mentions this as a proof, actually, from the Imams, that when he says that التحذير من أهل البدع, شيخ الإسلام ابن تيمية رحمه الله تعالى, he says التحذير من أهل البدع واجب باتفاق المسلمين. He said to warn against the people of bid'ah is wajib by agreement of the Muslims. He said it is wajib by agreement of the Muslims. He says, as it was said to Imam Ahmad, right? As it was said to Imam Ahmad, that الرجل يصلي ويصوم ويتصدق ويقوم الليل. It is said to him, the man, he prays, he fasts, he gives charity, he stands at night, right? وآخر يتكلمون في أهل البدع. And the other one, he speaks against أهل البدع. So they ask Imam Ahmad, who is the better person? Right? The person, like, أيهما أحب إليك, which of the two is more beloved to you? So he said, الذي يصلي ويصوم ويتصدق فإنما هو لنفسه. He said, that one who is praying and is fasting and is giving charity, it is only for himself. He said, وأما الذي يتكلم في أهل البدع, but as the one who speaks against أهل البدع, فإنما هو للمسلمين. He said, this is for the Muslims. هذا أفضل. This one is better. He said, this one is better. He is benefiting all the Muslims. He's benefiting the Ummah. And when they came to Imam Ahmad, rahimahullah ta'ala, also, with this doubt that Ahlul Bidah, they bring, especially their leaders, because tahdhir has to be made against them. Right? Tahdhir has to be made against them. This is what Imam Ahmad is speaking about. That when you say warning against Ahlul Bidah is wajib by agreement of the Muslims, it refers to the leaders who are calling to Bidah. So, when it is said to Imam Ahmad rahimahullah ta'ala that أنتم تختابون الناس, you are backbiting the people. Huh? And this is one of the doubts that the Imams of Bid'ah, they always bring to the general people. They always bring to the people, they are slandering the Imams. You know, they are backbiting the Imams. You know, why? Because they are the ones that are being exposed. They are the ones that are being warned against. Because they are the corruptors of the deen of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They are the ones misguiding the Muslims. They are the ones that it is wajib upon those who have knowledge to warn against them by Sharia. Right? So when they said to Imam Ahmad the same doubt, that you know, but you are backbiting the people. So Imam Ahmad said, La. He said, no. لو سكت أنا وسكت أنت وسكت فلان فمن يبين للناس الحق من الباطل. He said, if I keep quiet, and you keep quiet, and so keep quiet, who is going to clarify to the people the haqq from the batil? Who's going to tell the people what is haqq and what is batil? And who's going to advise them in the deen? In another narration he said, this is nasiha. They said to him, you are backbiting. He said, this is nasiha. This is giving sincere advice and being true and sincere to the Muslims. Because imagine I know a danger for you and I don't warn you against it. Right? If I knew a person was going to steal your money, I know him, he's going to steal your money, I would tell you, don't deal with that man. Don't deal with him. He's a crook. He's going to steal your money. Right? We know this about him. And it is not ghiba. Even in the Sharia, it is not ghiba. This is one of the 6 cases when you're making tahdhir, when ghiba is not considered ghiba. It is rather you must do this. It's the haqq of the Muslim upon you. So imagine a person who poses a threat to people in their iman. He's calling them to shirk. He's posing a threat to them in their Islam, in their a'mal salihah. He's calling them to bid'ah. How can you not warn them against him? Yeah? Subhanallah, it's more important that you warn them against the one who is a threat to their deen than you warn them against the one who's a threat to their dunya. You know, subhanallah. So, the people who are raising this and who come up with, it's the Imams of Ahlul Bidah, that they're the ones who tell the people, oh, they slander and they're making fitna and they're back. Why? Because they are the ones who is being exposed to the people that these people are lying to you. These people are misguiding you. These people are leading you astray. When you look what Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said in the hadith of Hudayfa ibn Yaman, in Sahih al-Bukhari and others, then when Hudayfa said that كان الناس يسألون الرسول صلى الله عليه وسلم عن الخير وكنت أسأله عن الشر. He said the people used to ask Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam about the good things, and I would ask him about the evil. Right? I would ask him about the harm. مخافة يدركني, fearing that it may reach me. In other words, he's not asking about the evil or the harm just to know, so that he can be aware of it, so that he can save himself from it. He says, فَقُلْتُ يَا رَسُولَ اللَّهِ كُنَّا فِي جَاهِلِيَّةٍ وَشَرٍ فَجَاءَنَا اللَّهُ بِهَذَا الْخَيْرِ فَهَلْ بَعْدَ هَذَا الْخَيْرِ مِنْ شَرٍ. He said, I said, Ya Rasulullah, we were in Jahiliyyah and evil, and Allah brought us this good, meaning what? Islam, with the Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Right? He says, so will there be evil after this good? Right? So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, Na'am, yes. He says, yes, there will be evil after the good of Islam came. There will still evil will come again. But then the Sahabi says, then will there be good again after that evil? Right? فَهَلْ بَعْدَ ذَلِكَ الْخَيْرِ ذَلِكَ الشَّرْ مِنْ خَيْرِ. Will there be good again after that evil? So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, نعم قوم يستنون بغير سنتي ويهتدون بغير هدي. In fact, he first said to him, نعم وفيه دخن. He said, yes, good will return, but it will be tainted. It will not be clear, it will not be pure. Right? Then he said, وَمَا دَخْنُهُ, what is its taint? What pollutes it? If the good returns, what pollutes the good? So he said, قَوْمٌ يَسْتَنُّونَ بِغَيْرِ سُنَّةِ وَيَحْتَدُونَ بِغَيْرِ هَدِي. People that will follow as a way other than my sunnah, and will find guidance in other than my guidance. تَعْرِفُ مِنُّمْ وَتُنْكِرُ. So you will approve of some of what they're upon, and you would reject others. Right? So he said to Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, because now imagine this is the good that comes back and it's already tainted. Right? It's already not pure, it's already polluted. Right? And the pollutant is people that follow other than the sunnah of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, and they follow other than the guidance of Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, the Sahabi asked him, هل بعد ذلك الخير من شر? Will there be evil again after that good? So Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam says, نعم دعاة على أبواب جهنم. Yes, callers to the gates of hellfire. من أجابهم قذفوه فيها. Whoever responds to their call, they get him thrown into the hellfire. Right? Callers to the gates of hellfire, du'at, meaning these are people that will actively call people to actions that will lead them to the hellfire. Right? So he said to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Sifum lana, describe them for us. Describe them for us. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, no. Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, Hum min jildatina. They are from our people. Right? Yeah, they're from our people. وَيَتَكَلَّمُونَ بِأَلْسِنَتِنَا. They speak our language. Right? They speak our tongues. Some of the scholars say first and foremost, who's this? He's saying there will be Arabs like this. Right? They will speak the Arabic language. They will speak the Arabic language. And some say, secondly, this refers to the Ummah. They will be Muslims. Right? They will be Muslims. And they will speak the Arabic language. And when we look today, how do the people become deceived? First and foremost, person speaks Arabic. The person speaks Arabic, they're deceived. Immediately, oh no, he's a learned person. You know? And when you look when these Arabs come, like these people who come from Hadramaut, they come from Tarim, this Daru Mustafa, they come from this place where they jump in the river and they go to the grave of Hud and all of this. Then these are Arabs and they speak Arabic, and so the people, they put them on pedestals as scholars. They put them as scholars. So Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam warned, he said, they are from our people and they speak our language. So the Sahabi asked Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, said, what should I do? He says, ماذا ترى إن أدركني ذلك? What should I do, Ya Rasulullah, if this reaches me, if I find myself in such a state where the call is to the gates of Jahannam? Nabi Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, tell Jama'at al-Muslimin wa imamahum. You stick to the Jama'at al-Muslimin and the Imam. To the main body of Muslims with the Imam. And so there's a group of the Muslims and they're under one Amir al-Mu'mineen. Right? So he says, he goes further, he describes our situation. He says, فَإِن لَمْ تَكُنْ لَهُمْ جَمَاعَةٌ وَلَا إِمَامٌ. What if they have no Jama'ah and no Imam? What if there's no Jama'ah and no Imam? There is no united group of Muslims with under one Imam. So he Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam said, فَاعْتَزِلْ تِلْكَ الْفِرَقْ كُلَّهَا وَلَوْ أَنْ تَعُدَّ عَلَى أَصْلِ شَجَرَةٍ حَتَّى يُدْرِكَكَ الْمَوْتُ وَأَنْتَ كَذَلِكَ. He said, leave all those sects. Leave all those sects. Even if you have to bite onto the roots of a tree until death comes to you whilst you're in that state. Now just imagine, when he said, stick to the Jama'ah, one Jama'ah. Stick to the Jama'atul Muslimin, the Jama'ah of the Muslims. It's only one Jama'ah. Wa imamahum, and the Imam. They are united, right? And they have one leader. When he referred to the others, what word did he use? He said, فَاعْتَزِلْ تِلْكَ الْفِرَقْ. Stay away from the firaq, from the sects, all of them. Even if you have to bite onto the roots of a tree. So he Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam warned us about these callers to the gates of Jahannam. And he described these callers to the gates of Jahannam. And he told us what to do when we find ourselves surrounded by such people and in such a situation. So how can we today as Muslims, and especially those of us who know, right? Know the deen, know the Quran, know the Sunnah, know the Tawheed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, know what opposes it, right, of shirk, knows the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, knows what opposes it of bid'ah, and he sees all of these people calling to hellfire, to shirk and to bid'ah. How is it allowed for him to keep quiet? It's never allowed for him to keep quiet. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, مَنْ رَأَى مِنْكُمْ مُنْكَرًا فَلْيُغَيِّرُوا بِيَدِهِ فَإِنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَبِلِسَانِهِ فَإِنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَبِقَلْبِهِ وَذَلِكَ أَضْعَفُ الْإِيمَانِ. Whoever of you sees an evil, let him rectify it with his hand. Let him change it with his hand, meaning let him stop it. Let him do something about it. This is someone who has authority. This is a person in a position of power. He can stop it with his hand. Right? فَإِنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ. But if he's not able to, فَبِلِسَانِهِ. Then with his tongue. Meaning he should speak against it. He should speak up. He cannot remain silent whilst he sees a munkar and evil. Right? فَإِنْ لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ. And if he's not able to, فَبِقَلْبِهِ. Then with his heart. Right? But he said, وَذَلِكَ أَضْعَفُ الْإِيمَانِ. And that is the weakest of Iman. That is the weakest of Iman. So imagine we see an evil. What is a greater evil than shirk? Is there a greater evil than shirk? No. There's no greater evil than shirk. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يَغْفِرُ أَن يُشْرَكَ بِهِ. Allah doesn't forgive that partners are associated with Him. وَيَغْفِرُ مَا دُونَ ذَلِكَ لِمَن يَشَاءُ. But He forgives what is lesser than that wherever He wills. So there's no graver, there's no worse, more dangerous sin than shirk. We see people calling Muslims to shirk. Is this not the greatest munkar? مَنْ رَأَى مِنْكُمْ مُنْكَرًا فَلْيُغَيِّرُوا بِيَدِهِ. Whoever of you sees a munkar, he must change it with his hand. But now we say, but we're not in authority. Huh? We're not in authority. We can't change with our hand. We don't have the power and the ability to do this. Maybe we have the power, but we don't have the authority or the permission. Right? فَإِن لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَبِلِسَانِهِ. And if he's not able to, then with his tongue. Is there anyone who says that he can't speak? Are we in a situation where we can say, you know what? These people are calling the Muslims to the hellfire. They're calling the Muslims to shirk and to bid'ah. But I can't say anything about it. I know they are calling them to hellfire. I know who they are that are doing this. I know this person is a caller to batil. But I can't say anything. Are we in such a situation? No, we're not. You know? So it is then necessary upon us. It is wajib. Because the first wujub was فَلْيُغَيِّرُ بِيَدِهِ. He must change it with his hand. And then if he's not able to, right? In the second level, فَبِلِسَانِهِ. Then with his tongue. So now he is able to do it with his tongue. So now you can't say, okay, فَبِقَلْبِهِ. Because Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, فَإِن لَمْ يَسْتَطِعْ فَبِقَلْبِهِ. If he's not able to, then with his heart. Right? If he's not able to do it with his tongue, then with his heart. So we are in the situation where what? We are to do it with our tongue. We are to speak against bid'ah. We are to speak against the people of bid'ah. We are to warn against the innovators. And this is a duty upon us in Islam. Wallahi, this is a duty upon us in Islam. If you consider this, subhanallah, Ijma'ul ulama, this book. Ijma'ul ulama ala al-hajr wa al-taghdhir min ahli al-ahwa. Consensus of the ulama. Consensus of the scholars upon boycotting and warning against the innovators. Consensus of the ulama. Right, this is by Sheikh Khalid ibn Dahwi al-Dhufayri with a taqdeem, with the introduction by the Allama Zayd ibn Muhammad bin Hadi al-Madkhali rahimahullah ta'ala, and the Allama Sheikh Ubayd ibn Abdullah al-Jabiri rahimahullah ta'ala. Two of the most senior ulama of our time. Two of the most senior ulama al-Sunnah in our time made taqdeem of the book. That there is consensus of the ulama upon boycotting and warning against the people of innovation. You know? So these individuals that we warn against, it is only for nasiha for the ummah. It is only as nasiha for the Muslims, so that the Muslims can be aware of them, and that the Muslims can know that these people are calling you to falsehood, to batil, and these people are lying to you, and these people are deceiving you, and these people are eating your wealth with falsehood. You know, subhanAllah, and how is it permissible for a Muslim who knows to keep silent about this? You know, subhanAllah, it is actually a sad fact that one of the reasons that innovations and misguidance is so widespread is because those who knew kept quiet. Those who knew kept quiet. You know, many years ago, when big shuyukh here graduated from Medina University and, you know, coming from overseas studying, and they would say, oh, this is that you know, that's not the sunnah, that's not the sunnah, but they would never speak. They would never warn the people against it. They would never warn the people against its scholars. Eventually they ended up with him. Eventually they ended up with them. You know, from simply being silent, you know, and fearing that the people will say you're making riba, the people say you're making fitna, and fearing all this, you know, this weak doubts, this weak shubuhat that was raised to them. So they left the Muslims like that. The callers of shirk became more, the callers of shirk became worse, the callers of bid'ah became more blatant. You know, they became more courageous to call people to falsehood. Look at the type of speech you see today. 10 years ago, did you find an imam talking the nonsense that these people are talking today? Imagine, 10 years ago, you would never find an imam having the guts or the, you know, the courage to talk such absolute nonsense from the mihrab in the masajid. You know, like the fairy tales that these Sufis tell. calling people to shirk, calling people to glorifying their sheikhs, sheikhs who, make all these fancy tricks. Wallahi, these people, it is wajib upon the callers of Ahlul Sunnah wal Jama'ah that they must warn against the likes of these people. And when we hold on to this, we are holding on to the book and the Sunnah and the ijma' of the ulama, and the ijma' of the Salaf, the consensus of the ulama and of the Salaf al-Salih to warn against the people of bid'ah. So, subhanallah, it is holding on to the Sharia and not opposing the Sharia. And then the other weak doubt that they bring is they say, yeah, but it will cause a split. A split between the people of the Tawheed and the people of Shirk. There's already a split. There's a huge split. It's going, imagine, just for argument's sake, they say, oh, it's going to cause a split. You are going to have a problem now with one of this Habaibs. Subhanallah, do I want to be united with that person? Who's making shirk with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who's calling people to make sujood to qabrs, who's calling people to call on other than Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this split is already there. And if you say that leaving this is gonna cause us to be united, you are opposing what Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said. Because Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, سَتَفْتَرِقُ هَذِهِ الْأُمَّةِ عَلَى 73 فِرْقَةٍ. This ummah will split into 73 sects. And the hadith is sahih. And the only people who tried to make the hadith da'if, in fact, one of them, they came to Cape Town and they put him in the big masjid, Qaradawi, and he said, oh, this hadith is da'if. Why? Because he's one of those people of the 72 sects. Right? So he was the head of the Ikhwan. He's one of their scholars, one of their main scholars. So they say, no, it's going to cause a split. We say, Nabi sallallahu alaihi wasallam said, this ummah will split into 73 sects. كُلُّهَا فِي النَّارِ إِلَّا وَاحِدًا. All of it is in the fire except one. All of it is in the fire except one. So who said this ummah will split? Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. So you're telling me, no, you just keep quiet about the batil and then we're going to be united. This is what you're saying. Don't speak about the batil because you're splitting the ummah. Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said the ummah will be split. You are saying if I keep quiet about batil, the ummah will unite. A'udhu billah. This is another misguidance. This is another misguidance. When he sallallahu alayhi wa sallam said, this ummah was split into 73 sects, all in the fire except one. The Sahaba asked him again, who is it, Ya Rasulullah? Who is the one, Ya Rasulullah? So he said, Ma ana alayhi al-yawm wa ashabi. What I and my companions are upon today. What I and my companions are upon. This is the one. Yani that you're following Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and the Sahaba. Right? This is the one that is saved. So, it is a duty upon us to clarify to people which is that way, what is that way. Which is the way of the Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam and the Sahaba. There was no Sufi amongst the Sahaba. There was no Ash'ari amongst the Sahaba. There was no Shi'i amongst the Sahaba. There was no Ikhwani amongst the Sahaba. There was no Tablighi amongst the Sahaba. Right? There was no Qur'ani amongst the Sahaba. There was no sect, no Ilmani, no Ba'athi. There was no sect amongst the Sahaba. It was the Quran and the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, and united upon that. This is what we're calling to, and this is what we're warning the people of opposing. That don't follow those who oppose this. That this scholar who's calling you to Sufism, who's calling you to Shiism, who's calling you to call on the dead, and especially now it's Muharram again, right? They're going to have the Karbala celebration. They're going to commemorate the death of Hussein, radiallahu ta'ala anhu, alayhi salam, grandson of Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. But not an idol for the ummah. Not someone that we can call on besides Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Not greater than our Nabi Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Not even greater than the Khulafa al-Arba'ah. Not greater than Abu Bakr and Umar and Uthman and Ali. Do we have a commemoration for them?
No.
Do we have a commemoration for Ali, his father, that was also martyred? Just think about it. There's no commemoration. There's no commemoration for Umar radiallahu ta'ala anhu. There's no commemoration for Uthman radiallahu ta'ala anhu. There's no commemoration for Abu Bakr radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Huh? So where does this come from? This is from the innovations that these people are calling to. You know, so imagine I see a person calling the Muslims to it. I know it is batil and I keep quiet. If I fulfill my duty of giving advice to every Muslim, the Sahaba, they said, Bay'atu Rasul, the one Sahabi said, Bay'atu Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, I gave the bay'ah to Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. You know, upon establishing the salah and giving the zakah, وَالنُّصْحِ لِكُلِّ Muslim, and to give sincere advice to every Muslim. To give sincere advice to every Muslim. So when the people of the Sunnah warn against the people of Bid'ah, this is what it is. It is that we are giving nasiha to the Muslims to not follow this misguiding leaders and to not follow these people that are calling you away from the Sunnah of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam and away from the Tawheed of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. You know, so it is our duty by consensus of the Muslims, as Shaykhul Islam ibn Taymiyyah said, that we warn against the people of innovations. And therefore we ask Allah Ta'ala to enable us to continue with it and to make us steadfast upon it.
Ameen.
You know, and that we do it to the best of our ability for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Naam. Barakallahu fikum.